Hey YouTubers, I've uncovered a shelf that's been hidden by my torches. This torch set usually sits back in front of this shelf where the rust stains are on the floor from the wheels on the torches. Got a little Briggs & Stratton off of a David Bradley cultivator with one of the first Briggs & Stratton recoils. Had the oil hole in the end, and the sprag clutch doesn't have a felt wick in the end of it. It's open so you can oil it from the outside if should it need a little drop every now and then to keep the sprag from seizing and tearing the spring out of the recoil. I've got a suction carburetor on it because that's what I had. It didn't come with that, but it does still have the, even though it's a cast iron block like a 7S, it does still have the piece of tin over the top of the head. Now the nomenclature and the piece of tin that it's on aren't actually to this motor. Neither is the oil pan. Sometime or another somebody's built this motor from pieces. But the shroud and the head and the square backing plate that's only for these motors. You can't put it on it doesn't come off an aluminum motor. And the little ones with the teardrop shaped shroud, you could put it on, but you'd have to put the shroud and all on. It's kind of a one-off type thing, for lack of a better term. Now, that's about the same motor, but it's got a float carburetor with an odd little cast iron manifold. It doesn't look like the aluminum manifolds. It's a little different, a little more rounded, a little better breathing manifold. And it has the tin on top of the head. It's a lot more original, but it's a rope cup motor. They both have the embossed Briggs & Stratton B.and S on the shroud, but this one has a recoil and a snout on the crank. This one has a rope cup and a float carburetor. Also got a Rio, Ransom Eli Olds is what that stands for. One of the Olds brothers from General Motors fame. It's up and running, or would be if I'd clean it out. It was put up there all slicked and pretty with epoxy paint. Well, that's what 35 years does to one. Same with this little WMB. Got the manifold on it. Everything about it's original. Everything. It doesn't have anything rigged. It's still got the little knurled wheel with the governor hooked up that you roll up and down to govern your speed on your washing machine. I made little tabs to hold the original tank down to a board. I had more time back then. But it was all dialed up and put on the shelf. But I kind of forgot about these. Oh, there's another one. There's a little 5S Briggs down here. And it was prettied up. A spatter crawling on it. I may get it out first and limber it up. That's not the right air filter. That's a push mower air filter. Other than that, it's all original with all the governor linkage, spring, and all still on it. I wrote something on it. B.and.S. 5S. Briggs & Stratton 5S. That's some stick-on tags. The only thing I know that's not original on it is the air filter and that garden hose washer on the oil fill plug. That is a cast iron oil pan. Aluminum head, cast iron oil pan. Aluminum pan. Aluminum pan. Oh, my knees are hurting. So, yeah, and I noticed I got my camera held the wrong way. Too late to change it now. Once you start, you got to roll with it. I learn these things and then I forget them as quick as I learn them. That's a Briggs tank and check valve on an iron horse motor. And what I use for my gas tubes, if you don't have a gas tube ever, and you've got an old water heater or furnace laying around, rob the thermocouple tube, cut it, and pull the guts out of it. It's got a coiled spring up inside of it. You pull the guts out of the thermocouple that make it work for its purpose on a heater, The outside makes a good gas line for these little motors. I did have the proper iron horse tank. Well, I think I still do. But it's not near as pretty, so I went with what I had. Let me get this little muffler on this Clinton. It's not I think it's really a sump off of a suction off of a water pump. Got a little bit of a leak down there, I see, on my oil pan. But those ones that lay with constant oil against the gasket, if they're going to leak, they'll show up. You know, where the Briggs, the oil doesn't come up if it leaks out of well, it does on the little kickstart, but on the ones like this, if it leaks, then you've either got too much oil in it or one hell of a shrunken gasket. All right, that's about all I want to say about them. As Forrest Gump would say, that's all I got to say about that. There's a good view of my Jacobsen powered. I never have been back in here to where I could show the workings of the old Jacobsen bike, but it's got a 5-speed wheel, and a lever flips over up on the handlebar that tightens the belt, and a 3-horse Jacobsen, and it was bad to the bone, dangerously bad. So it got detuned to its lowest gear. I've said that 2 or 3 times on videos, but I'm saying it another time. Someday I'll get it running again just to have something to do. It was dangerous. See how I got the handlebars sprawled out real wide, and it's like riding a forklift or steering. Well, it's about like maneuvering a rototiller. That's about what it was like, because that motor's way out on a piece of 2-inch angle, I think. This is all on John Wade YouTube, along with all manner of other weird stuff. Oh, there's a plane coming at me. Neat little glow plug motor I'm going to sell. I'm going to load up and go to the flea market here soon. I got to get rid of some stuff and make some room. I go to the Shepherdsville Awesome Flea Market, they call it, the outdoor one. Set up and try to turn some of the stuff that I'm not going to sell any of my little motors, just the little airplane motor and the Sears bike bug. I'm not going to hang on to it. I'll never use it. I'm heavy and it's lightweight. There's a neat little motor I forget about. I said something the other day on a video about the Lawson with the carburetor on pipe thread, screws in on pipe thread, and has a rope cup on both sides. The pulley is a rope cup and the other pulley is a rope cup. And the air filter rotates like a salt shaker. You close it off by turning it one way, and you open it up by uncovering the holes. Pretty cute. Little bitty motor with a little bitty pattern. But here's a neat one. It's a Continental with the updraft with the carburetor on the bottom and exhaust on the top. So the cam lobes would be exactly the opposite of what they are on a Continental with the little distributor up on top, or the one that had the carburetor up high and exhaust down low. Which leads me to wonder, well, you couldn't make them fire probably backward anyway, and if they did, they'd fire way too retarded. You have to change the points lobe. But you see where I'm going with this. If you switch this cam to the other motor and made your own points lobe where it fired a little bit before top center, you can make that motor run backward, but there'd be no point in it unless you want to make a 2-engine Continental go-kart. But that's just dreaming. John Wade's YouTube, or Wade Made Motorized Mayhem. I'll get it right here in a minute. On YouTube. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.